Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Breaking news out of the Northern Valley. 4 people were shot in Grand Forks this afternoon. One of them was found dead in an apartment. Authorities have confirmed 2 of the people who were shot are police officers. The other 2 involved are civilians. It happened in the 1600 block of 28th Avenue South. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly is on scene with the very latest. Katie, what can you tell us?
Andrea, I'm here live outside of the apartment where gunshots rang out this afternoon around 2:30. We're told that 3 people were injured, including 2 officers, as well as the suspect involved. We were also told that a woman was found dead inside the apartment. The 3 people that were injured were taken from the scene to the hospital. I'm going to give you a better look of what the scene looks like right now. We're still learning more information as we have just arrived on scene, but we're told that officers were on scene to serve civil process paperwork. Officers were ambushed. 1 sheriff's deputy and 1 police officer suffered gunshots. The suspect was also shot. A woman that was found dead inside the apartment was also from gunshots. They do not know the extent of the injuries for the people that were shot at this time and will not be providing that information at this time. The department here in Grand Forks tells us that they are crushed by the news that they have received, and they are continuing their investigation. We will continue to remain on scene and bring you updates as they become available. But for now, reporting live in Grand Forks, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
All right, Katie, and as she said, stick with Valley News Live as we continue to update this story on air and online as we get more information. There have been 32 officers who have died in the line of duty in North Dakota by gunfire. The most recent came in January of 2017 in Rolette County, where Deputy Sheriff Colt Allery was shot and killed. In February of 2016, Fargo police officer Jason Mosier. In February of 2011, Bismarck police officer Stephen Kenner. In March of 1996, patrol officer Keith Braddock of Watford City, North Dakota. In August of 1993, Deputy Sheriff Valence Pascal of Benson County. In February of 1983, Marshal Kenneth Muir and Deputy U.S. Marshal Robert Cheshire Jr. were killed in the historical shootout near Medina with Gordon Call. While 32 have died by gunfire, overall 57 officers have died in the line of duty in North Dakota. In other news today, Cass County is still taking the lead during this pandemic with the highest number of COVID-19 cases in North Dakota. Earlier this month, leaders organized a Red River COVID-19 task force to address the issue. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard has an update on what officials are doing about the high number of positive cases on this end of the state.
Let's save our summer. That's the approach the task force is taking as they move forward.
And in Cass, we've had cumulative, as of yesterday, about 1,580 cases, which makes up about 65% of all of North Dakota's cases.
Many in the valley are concerned about climbing numbers. COVID-19 cases skyrocketing to 93 on May 21st. Officials say numbers dropped off due to mass testing. Some asked if the task force clearly plans on making numbers public on an ongoing basis.
The problem is that the majority of the testing now done in the state is in the Cass County area. We see as those numbers evolve, we're still down to the 4 to 5% rate right now of positive tests out of the testing that's done.
Mayor Tim Mahoney says he's been talking with the governor's staff about letting more people into businesses. Restaurants may start opening up from 75 to 100%. Another option is going county by county. Many are worried about what NDSU will look like in the fall if cases are still going up.
We're having ongoing conversations about what kind of testing strategies might occur in the university setting to do that more safely. And so this is going to depend a lot on what sort of testing capacity we ramp up to by the fall.
Cass and Clay County officials working to keep COVID-19 positive cases quarantined to stop the spread.
It's warming up and we've all earned some time to enjoy the outdoors after our long winter.
In the FM area, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Officials say there's a website where you can submit any questions that you may have, and you can find the link on our Valley News Live app. State health officials are confirming 17 new cases of COVID-19, along with 2 additional deaths in North Dakota. This brings the active number of cases in the state to 677. 16 of those cases were in Cass County. They're also reporting 2 new deaths linked to the illness. Both were women in Cass County with underlying health conditions, one in her 70s and the other in her 90s. The death toll now sits at 56. Further retests have been done for the positive results that were called into question after equipment issues. Of the 74 retests, all but 1 have been changed to negative. In Minnesota, health officials are reporting 33 more deaths from the virus, bringing the death toll to 932. Officials say 759 of those deaths happened in a nursing home or long-term care facility. The state is reporting another 510 cases today, bringing the active case count to 5,218. 16,314 people have recovered from the virus since the state started keeping record. Now, this is more like it, and it sounds like we haven't hit 80 degrees in a long time. Here's Hutch with a look at your first alert forecast. Hey, Hutch.
Indeed, it's been months and months since we saw 80 degrees, and today, well, it's in style. Blue skies up in Grand Forks, a few wispy cirrus clouds, signs of change, as we see some showers on the radar along the South Dakota border. These are moving east, and our southern counties have a chance late this evening and overnight of seeing some rain showers. Here's your temperatures: 80s from Bemidji through Fargo down towards Sisseton, 70s, low 70s in the Devil's Lake Basin heading into your evening. Here's a look at your planner for Fargo. I expect temperatures to stay in the 80s until about that 9 o'clock hour. We'll dip down quickly through the 70s. Big time changes will come overnight for us. Grand Forks this evening, enjoy while you can. Mid-70s through the 7 o'clock hour, 60s after that. It'll be a while before we see 80 again, but we will. We'll have details on all of that coming up here in a few moments.
All right. Thank you, Hutch. A 38-year-old man is now in jail after a standoff where he tried to tear down a wall and run away from officers. Police were called to the building just a few blocks west of South High School around midnight. And when they arrived, they heard a man yelling in his apartment, threatening to burn the place down. Authorities then got into the apartment and the suspect barricaded himself in the bathroom. Eventually, the man tried to tear down a bathroom wall to escape. Matthew Griffin is now under arrest for endangerment by fire, preventing arrest, and disorderly conduct. After our whistleblower story, a cemetery in Fargo is adding another camera to prevent thefts from a gravesite. Pamela Nelson says for years she's had issues with someone taking items she had placed on her daughter's grave at Riverside Cemetery. She says it got so bad she began placing inexpensive stuff such as artificial flowers. But Riverside Cemetery told us today it is setting up a game camera near that grave to cut down on theft. Nelson tells us she's grateful for the help and action that's being taken. Fargo police are alerting college students to be on the lookout for a scam hitting their email inboxes. The department says scammers will email a student on their university email and say they need to log into a different site to get their COVID-19 check from the university's financial department. That other site will ask for the student's personal username and passwords used for the university. Authorities say don't fall for it. This is a scam. If you think your university's financial department is trying to contact you, you should call them. Summer weather is finally here, and it has many of us itching to get out of the house. But is it safe to start including friends and family members in those summer plans? Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with one local health expert today whose answer might surprise you.
Although the pandemic is far from over, your days of complete self-isolation might be the opposite.
Well, if you want to go out to the lake, it's, sparsely populated, it's outdoors. And if you want to sit down on the patio and have drinks with your friends, that's absolutely fine.
But Dr. Nagpal says don't get too excited, saying it's important to expand your quarantine circle slowly.
I don't think we are at a point where we can go back to how it used to be and hang out from one household to another, to another, to another.
Saying for now, keep it to close friends or family and don't hang out with a new group every day.
Hang out with some of your friends on a weekend and then, continue to socially distance yourself through the weekday. And maybe over the next weekend, then you can hang out with other people.
Nagpal says the important part is staying outside as parties and celebrations indoors make it easier to pass along germs and COVID-19. And Nagpal says the same goes for your kids, saying outdoor playdates are are fine, but to pass on the sleepovers for now.
I don't expect people to measure 6 feet of social distancing, but at least, maintain appropriate distance.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
NAGPO also says it's best to wear masks as much as you can, even when you're at home with friends, to help reduce the amount of potential exposure you may have. West Fargo Public Schools is now saying each graduate will be allowed to have 2 guests attend this weekend's graduation ceremonies. In a letter to students and parents, school officials say Fargo Cass Public Health provided new guidance last night to both Fargo and West Fargo school districts regarding gathering size for outdoor spaces. It is now their belief that guests could gather to watch their child graduate at the outdoor venue. School officials say guests and graduates must be mindful of social distancing and screening and masking, as well as the guidance provided through the governor's ND Smart Restart protocols. Ceremonies will also be live streamed. The Fargo Park District announced today that they will be opening the 5 outdoor pools for the summer at limited capacity. Davies Recreational Pool, along with North Side and Southwest pools, will open next Saturday, June 6th at 12:30 in the afternoon. The following Monday, which is June 8th, Madison Pool and Splash Pad will open at 12:30, and Island Park Pool will open at 1:30. We have a full breakdown on hours of operation and a link to the CDC recommendations for outdoor pools on our VNL News app. The popular Potato Days Festival in Barnesville is canceled for this summer. It was scheduled for August 28th and 29th. Organizers say they will be back in 2021 with their 30th anniversary. They say with the restrictions in place for social distancing and sanitation and crowd control, it would be extremely difficult to keep their festival to their own standards. Organizers say Potato Days draws over 22,000 people. Still ahead tonight, large protests erupt in Minneapolis after a man dies in police custody.
And temperatures soared today into the 80s, mid-80s for Fargo-Moorhead, and for Grand Forks, 70s in Devil's Lake. We have changes in store, so enjoy your evening. A few of us will see showers. I'll have all the details in your hour-by-hour forecast coming up next.